Vishwaguru matlab Niraj sir. We are live, Niraj sir. So at first, I think we should need to apologize. We couldn't come on Friday because there was some breaking news at that point in time, and so while we were ready to come in, that news broke and we couldn't do that. So today, please send your likes and thumbs ups, and we'll take. And we have Puneet here to take us through the tech layoffs.
So मैं क्या करूँगा सर, आप लेके जाओगे, हम तो बस आपके साथी हैं.
अच्छा. Niraj sir, what is your take on it? You've been looking at the IT from a holistic point of view.
Holistic.
But just before I do IT, there's a very interesting note that came in this morning. And by the way, good to be back after 2-3 days. So missed the show.
A lot of people missed you वैसा, तो आप पे तो जा ही रहते हैं.
That's good. चलो कुछ तो ठीक कर रहे हैं. No, so there is a note there's an article that got published on Yahoo Finance, right? In that, they have spoken about the views of Morgan Stanley's chief investment officer, Mike Wilson. He's saying that earnings revisions breadth, which is the ratio of the companies raising forecasts in the US to those cutting forecasts, has rebounded in line with the uptick in S&P 500. And he's quoted as saying that many market participants do not appreciate how strong this fundamental driver has been. And this is the last time we were so out of consensus of the market was during the pandemic era. So he believes that this rebound in earnings revisions helps to not only justify the rally to date, but also why we remain bullish on the next 6 to 12 months.
And that's the reason why you have the US market hitting a new high. But it's not a big jump on a daily basis, but a gradual jump which is there. And so far, I think the earnings have not been so disappointing, except for one or two, right? In that sense.
So the figure which I saw, 169 S&P 500 companies, 82% have outperformed the estimates, and that 82% includes not abhi tak aaye nahi, like there's like a couple of them not done well. Tesla was expected not to do well, but Alphabet, amongst all these companies, they just rammed through.
And the key is that not just that what they've done, but what they've done in terms of the forecast for the next couple of quarters. So I think which is why one, and the reason I brought this up is because if the US markets does well, the chance for a really brutal sell-off because of global factors is low. Now, if we don't hit a trade deal, that doesn't happen, and there is an intermediate.
I have 2 points here. One, we're seeing, as he said, 169 companies have got, and 80% have done above. But that's not reflecting in the services industry, right? I mean, in the sense, you have your clients doing very well, meeting or above estimate earnings, but it's not translating into orders or executions of projects or other stuff for IT company, from IT company point of view, which basically means that they are holding on to their margins in this uncertain times and trying to meet what they don't want to disappoint the street. And if it means that I have to push it by a few quarters, my entire new production or spends or everything, I'm willing to do that till I get a much better thing. The second point is from the tariff point of view. Now, who are the big partners of US in terms of, right? You have Japan, you have European Union, you have China, where you have a 90-day pause, and I think today they are meeting for another extension to that pause on today. And then there are these three total accounts for roughly around 70 to 80% of the trade. Right? So its remaining is 20%. So you have a much better visibility of tariffs for the US from that point of view. That's my way of looking at it, right? So if Powell is to, he's saying I don't have visibility on tariff. Today he has visibility on tariff because 80% of the trade is been factored in, locked in at rates which are 15%, 0%, whatever, 20%, whatever it is. And you have that visibility. And remaining 20% is not going to move the inflation needle or the labor market needle anyway. So going into a Fed meet on 30th, is there a possibility that there is going to, of course, everyone is pushing to September, but I'm trying to say that is there a possibility that from a commentary point of view, he's much more dovish?
Maybe. But he will not. I think he'll be guarded on both the accounts simply because he wouldn't want to be seen as one who's bowing down to Donald Trump.
No, but he's saying that I will be putting everything based on data. Now I'm talking about data here. I'm not talking about.
आप अगर जिनम पाला तब क्या बोलते?
नहीं, अगर डेटा अगर बोलता है कि है ऐसा
नहीं,
है
but
तो
आप जर्म पालो तब क्या बोलते हैं कि मैं डेटा आएगा वैसे मैं
मैं
करूंगा।
डेटा आऊंगा, मैं बताऊंगा,
हाँ,
वही कर रहा है।
वो अगले दिन आएगा, 1 तारीख को आएगा, तो इट्स लाइक वो इट्स गेटिंग
नहीं,
डिलेड
पर
अगेन.
आपके एग्रीमेंट्स हो गए ना साइन, your agreements have signed tariff. What
But
was the
that's
issue?
not data, no.
Yeah.
Agreements are not data.
No. So the point was that, oh, you're going to put 50% or 100% or 400% tariff, and that's going to have a repercussion on the inflation in the economy. And since I have to pause and see how it's going to work out, is not required anymore longer, because it's 15 to 20% max. In many cases, it's 15% in that sense. So it's not going to have a much severe impact on the inflation. Let me put it this way. So the economy is doing well. You have a GDP data which is expected, you have inflation data which is expected, and jobs data which is expected going into the thing. But inflation expectation can now be seen saying that, okay, it's not going to be as bad, which is there. That's my point.
One question which I have is, are you guys surprised with the earnings that US has given in this time frame, despite
Efficiency gains.
Yes,
I think it's all efficiency gains.
and I saw some of the commentaries of the CEOs who were talking about it, saying that the clients are more focused more on to meet their guidance than to push their orders at this point in time. I will sign the order at a price which I want, but I will start executing, or it's a slow rolling of the orders which is happening. So वो आराम से करूँगा मैं towards the end of the year. Simple.
मुझे लग रहा है efficiency है.
Are you also surprised with the reaction on these stocks? Because it's like fundamentally you had the result which was very good for these companies, but we had the bigger 1st August, and does that point then come to yours? Ki wo 80% wala trade deal was kind of secured with these agreements. So market has been like, okay, now this is going to be done, and let's start rewarding the fundamentals as soon as it happens, which has happened over the last 2 weeks.
I'm trying to put that across. I don't have that exact 80% figure. I'm trying to say that these are the 3 big trading blocks for the US. And then you have India also coming, but India का उतना नहीं है, 6-7% होगा maximum, 4% कुछ होगा उसका maximum, right? But these 3 big trading blocks which take account for the majority of the trades, there is a certainty of the trade tariffs for them. Simple as that. So in that sense, the US market is now bullish in the sense that, okay, we are not worried much. It's not going to be. Though Trump is still talking about, you trade में metal नहीं होगा, pharma नहीं होगा, ये नहीं होगा, फलाना
I
धमकाना
think
नहीं होगा.
the major thing, cars is included.
Cars is
That's
included
the
ना,
biggest thing,
खत्म
right?
हो गया ना.
So you get like 12.5% tariff benefit ki wo itna reduce ho gaya from 26-27, it's now
So
15.
I was talking to Parag Thakkar in the morning as part of the small chat, and he was saying that even though it's 15%, the net impact on the US consumer may not be that much. It could be 5% because of netting off of various करने के बाद ज़्यादा impact नहीं होगा, which can be absorbed in that sense.
So that we'll see an impact today at 130, right? When their market opens, if we could see that reaction, because it came over the weekend. So yeah.
But IT, sir,
you start.
नहीं, I want your perspective.
विश्वगुरु.
कभी हमें विश्वगुरु इधर बैठे हैं, मैं कभी हमें आपका पर्सपेक्टिव चाहिए कि आप कैसे देख रहे हो इसको.
So my this thing is that they've underinvested a lot, large cap IT companies in AI. In AI, and because of that now these are all capacities which were built post the pandemic in 2021-22, which had to get rationalized at some point. They were all waiting कि growth आ जाएगा, so this will be justified. Growth isn't going to come, and this year is clearly visible. So they had to take that call that it's going to happen. The thing is, we don't know I don't know इसका repercussion कितना deep हो सकता है. Because if TCS is coming out and doesn't, and TCS is the most liberal, honestly, in terms of wage hikes and in terms of this thing, they will never cut out wage hikes.
And very conservative in terms of cutting.
So it's like, it's a very big shock to me that in Q1 they decided to stop wage hikes. They decided to fire 12,000 people in senior management. And yes, they are not like the engineers, so they will be able to, of course, do better and get across. But it's still a big step in 1 quarter for the company to do both those things. They could have easily done another one in Q2, seen how it is, and seeing a recovery. But they've decided to pull the plug at this time.
I'm a little surprised on the part of the wage hike, pausing wage hike, because the wage hike हुआ ही था September quarter में, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Now, कौन 6 महीने में wage hike करता है? So traditionally, of course, you will have an appraisal cycle of looking and vetting and people and performance and everything which comes into play, but it comes normally annually hota hai, right? In that sense.
Yeah.
So what I got to understand is that they they got a setback in Q1 because of the high employees they had. 6,000 or
Yeah,
employees they
yeah.
had.
I cited this in the morning
Yeah,
that Sajeet
yeah.
के interview में उसने बोला था
कि 6,000
कि overhiring हुआ था.
overhiring हुआ था because they thought कि execution शुरू हो जाएगा and then everyone started pushing the order starts, simple as that.
Yeah.
But they were sitting on a very high bench which is more than 35 days.
But that is Sajeet, that is not the senior level.
Middle and senior level पे.
Bench, middle level, senior level था.
Because आपके नीचे लेवल लोअर लेवल पे आपका एट्रिशन बहुत हो रहा है 14.5% एट्रिशन है आपका ट्रेलिंग 12 months and this trailing 12 months is increasing from 150 to 250 bips in the last 4 quarters of your attrition levels have gone up.
अच्छा मुझे एक बात बताओ, have they given a reason of whether this is AI efficiency led cut or a growth slowdown led cut or not an AI efficiency but AI led cut? Have they given any
they
statement?
have said that they are preparing the organization for the new technologies in AI, but this cut is not on AI.
So this is on growth slowdown.
This is not on growth slowdown. It is on cutting the bench, which is non-productive and cannot be deployed anywhere. Because while
it's very harsh, the statement
it's a very
harsh.
You look at the statement very harsh. It says that these people cannot be deployed, which basically means that they have not this category of people have not been able to reskill themselves to the newer environment.
Now tell me this: will any of the other companies, based on their hiring trends, have a bench strength this high, and therefore could we see such numbers, if not exact scale of numbers, then percentage numbers or some color like this from the other companies?
Yeah, means TCS is 6 lakh. Next big will be Infosys. 3 lakh के आसपास, right? 2.5 3 lakhs.
The thing is with Wipro also, like Wipro had headcount reduction of 25,000 in FY24. Last year they had hardly 600 people additions, and this year they are saying they'll hire 10-20,000 freshers. So I feel TCS was sitting on that bench strength. And
so could this be that this is only TCS specific?
It could be, but I'm told that others are also looking at it.
No, everybody will look at it. Will the magnitude be so high is the question.
तो 2% तो हर जगह 12,000 इसलिए लगता है क्योंकि TCS के 6 लाख हैं. 3 लाख में 2% कितने होंगे? 6,000.
I think what
होगा क्या वो?
हो सकता है.
What?
नहीं मैं पूछ होने का तो कुछ भी हो सकता है.
Because why I say
Infosys 20,000 काट सकते हैं. नहीं होगा कि
नहीं होगा इसलिए मैं कह रहा हूँ क्योंकि सबके सब ने इस बार लोअर यूटिलाइजेशन लेवल्स दिए हैं. If you look at the utilization level for the top tier companies, everyone has shown a fall in utilization level.
What about the mid-tier ones?
The mid-tier ones they are actually doing much better than the large cap ones.
Like on utilization, etc.
On utilization, like for example, Mphasis. Now, Mphasis had 100% growth in the deal wins, 760 million. They were always around 300 million last 3 quarters. And they say that 68% of the deal wins is AI-led. Persistent also has mentioned that in what they said in this quarter specifically that they have 2-pronged strategy, one for technology, one for business. So they are going after the enterprises now. That we'll do the cost takeout deals for you and everything, but they're also going after AI where the technology could be transformational. For large cap, the problem is all AI-led deals is cost takeouts. It's not transformational. So which Sajeet largely mentioned that over the last so many years they've just focused on dividends and buybacks. Like Wipro still has a plan that over the next 3 years, they'll give back 70% of their profits in buybacks or dividends at a time where you are just very underinvested in technology. So I feel like the smaller ones, Persistent, Coforge, I think you guys spoke to. So the commentary there is that whatever happens, you're still going to do 14% EBIT margins now. I don't think the large cap players can come out and say that. Or choose not to.
Because and we have discussed this in the past, right, Niraj, that Indian IT companies are not geared for the AI-centric transformation.
The larger ones are not.
The thing is, within FMCG, we've seen companies go out and do acquisitions. When we spoke about it on Thursday, I think that Marico has been one of the most profound ones to go out, acquire companies like Beardo, and they are doing so much better than someone like an HUL. And we're seeing that similar thing in IT, that where the smaller companies have actually done acquisition. Hexaware has done acquisition in this one for GCC. The large cap ones who are sitting on so much cash have just been sitting on that much cash. And
I was just, when I was doing this research piece for today morning, I was going through the NASCOM site, And they have divided the entire IT industries into three categories. One is PPM, which is business process management, IT services, and R&D services. And they have given what kind of job profiles are currently available in this and what AI will replace them, and what academia needs to do and what industry needs to do to adapt to that. It's a fabulous article which they've written on the is there on the website, and they will show you कि हर level पे AI कैसे change कर रहा है. So वो जो hard hitting जो reset है AI का, it hasn't even started.
Nothing
It
started.
hasn't even started.
Yeah.
Because it's going to, the point is that earlier you need to have 7 people or 10 people for a coding at the base level. You just need 2 people because the 2 people should be able to prompt engineer कि भाई मुझे कैसे चाहिए. Simple. And the coding will happen. They just need to know the language and understand it, and then you are replacing 8 people because so the future addition of employees to IT sector is going to be very minimal, and it will only be at a lateral level and not unless you
specific areas.
Unless in the lower level or entry level you have the trained AI gen which is coming into being. Simple as that.
But I think we were discussing about US. Ayushman Lalani had a question: will the US economy rebound and Trump will be able to lower the fiscal deficit during his tenure?
He wants to.
Everybody wants to. I don't know if he'll also be able to or no, because US has this benefit of the currency, right, being a global currency. But is there a rebound that is certainly there? Sorry, the question was whether.
So the question is whether economy will be able to rebound and Trump will have lower fiscal deficit during the tenure.
Looks like the economy is going to do well.
So it's doing well as well.
And will continue to do better.
But do you think it will be a big win for Trump if he's able to solve the trade problem in the next 3 years?
3 years?
Because by the time he gets his tenure, there are trade problem and there's a deficit problem. If he's able to solve one problem, what's the issue?
Well, so if you are thinking of what is it that Trump would want his legacy to be, would it be the Nobel Prize winner for peace or whatever else? I think he's shown his hand that he wants to be the trade settler person, right? If the first 6 months are to be believed. Does it change the agenda in 3 months' time? I don't know. For now, this seems to be his card.
Look at what he has got from Japan and European Union. He's talking about almost $1 trillion of investment coming into the US over the next few years. And that's a huge commitment coming from these two trading blocks into the US. Right?
Most certainly. Certainly.
That's something which is worth, and that's what he may be known for, that, he brought back investment into the US.
I think one question very interesting, which I'm pretty sure Niraj will answer.
Laurus Labs inka favorite hai.
It's clear that the stock price is the function of narrative moving, or rather more than valuation, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the valuations are expensive, right? I mean, I don't know about the stock price per se, whether the stock price will do X or Y. I can't comment. But are the valuations on Laurus Labs expensive? They certainly are. It must be 8 or 9 times sales, right now. So it's not cheap at all from a price to sales perspective. But I mean, clearly the management sounded confident in the conversation today. Now, but brokerages, remember, Citi has opened a downside watch on this one.
And the stock is up 6-7%.
Yeah, but they have hiked the target price to them 590, but they've opened a downside watch because they are saying कि तो quarter one में जो उनको sales का uptick मिला वो शायद आगे quarters में ना मिले. Now, what the stock does is anybody's guess. But is it expensive? Yes. But is it building out a business which is a differentiated model on the CDMO side? Certainly looks like it.
But doesn't looking at CDMO quarterly is not very sensible.
Not good.
Because it's like for 4 or 5 quarters we saw Laurus underperform.
Any of these CDMO
now
businesses.
they've
Divi's went through, I mean, Divi's technically not, but Divi's CDMO went through a significant period of consolidation, right? Before it's showing its mettle. So there are a few which are doing this because business as all these promoters are saying that they have to set up capacities over a period of 3, 4, 5 quarters, 6 quarters, or capacity set up होने के बाद they start getting orders. So for all of them, this will be a problem. Who will succeed? Who fails? I don't know. For now, after a really long period of pain, Dr. Chava's promises seem to be coming true. But does it continue in the future? Remains to be seen.
Speaking of Dr. Chava, there's an appreciation for you from Kartikeya Vashist. Niraj sir, appreciate the interview with Dr. Chava. While Laurus has done really well, does the stock movement in the last month prove narrative is greater than valuation?
Yeah, वही है. मतलब देखो, is it expensive? It's very expensive. But I mean, stocks can do what they do. Yeah, really difficult to say that.
There are a couple of IPOs coming in. This is a IPO heavy week.
14 IPOs, right?
14 IPOs coming
and 12
in.
listings.
12 listings which is there.
So 12 listings in 4 days क्योंकि आज तो कोई listing था नहीं.
Yeah.
The next 4 days, but most of them are small cap, small SME IPOs, but छोटे मोटे भी हैं इसमें. But the better thing is that first half of August we'll see a lot of IPOs coming in like NSDL. NSDL तो आ ही रहा है, Wednesday को आ रहा है. Wednesday को आ रहा है, right? Wednesday को आ रहा है वो NSDL. But one of the biggest surprises, and we've been talking about it, is the private market price being very high at 1100, 1200 rupees, and the IPO is coming at 800 rupees at the upper end. So, what is your view on?
What is your view?
No, what is your view on? Hear me out. Since you don't talk about prices, everything, but what is your view on private market investment? How retail is, this is the second case where they're
after HDFC,
HDB Financial, burning their 30-40%.
Yeah, people need to be careful, right? Because the private market frenzy sometimes makes you believe, like so many people suddenly said, oh, we don't invest in public markets, you only do private. I'm like, what are you saying? I mean, here's a liquid market. How can you say we don't like public markets, we only like private markets?
ये thought दिमाग में डाल दिया है उनका.
It is just driven by greed.
Of course.
Greed of losing 40%.
40%.
Of course.
And 6 months lock-in.
मतलब खतरनाक है यार. But the thing is, yes, that a lot of these private market frenzied stocks, like even NSE, right? The monopoly, if you will, or a hefty party to the duopoly, that there, right? Even that is off from its highs.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's rubbing off, na? Because अगर 30-40 टका नीचे आने वाला है तो फिर.
But you've seen all these capital market players do so well in the last, like you say that it's because the valuations of course come off and
everything. It will, but Puneet ये सोचो, मुझे किसी इन्वेस्टर ने बोला कि NSE 3000 रुपए पे कुछ 10 लाख करोड़ का मार्केट कैप हो जाएगा, मोटा मोटी 10 लाख करोड़, मोटा मोटी, ठीक है. Can you then therefore make a hypothesis? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But the hypothesis that somebody told this to me, can you make a hypothesis that over the next 5 years, if NSE were to be at 3000, can the 10 lakh crore market cap of NSE move to 20 lakh crores? Right? Which is double over 5 years, which is growth कितना हुआ? 13%? शायद 13%, 12%, whatever it is, right? नहीं, 6 12 are 72. So 12 से थोड़ा ज़्यादा, 15 से थोड़ा कम, 13-14%, right? Which is not earth-shattering. But can NSE's market cap be 20 lakh crores in 5 years? Can you make that bet? And if not, do you want to bet on some other pockets? Yeah. So at 3,000 rupees, if NSE become very expensive. So again, this point, right? Don't be greedy in the private market. Sometimes your money will get stuck. Yeah. And you will not be able to.
I was speaking to NSDL guys.
NSDL
guys.
Because IPO
IPO. And I was asking them the question. Because CDSL had a bad Q4. I asked them, what was your Q4 like? And they said that we, on a quarter-to-quarter basis, we had a top line growth of 12% odd and a profit growth of 11% quarter-to-quarter. Q4 में. I said, ऐसे कैसे? उसने बोला कि, of course, we don't have too much of demand exposure. 15 crores CDSL का और 3.9 इनका active exposure है. But we have 7 businesses. And most of them businesses like आपका unlisted companies की listing उधर है, listing fees उधर जाती है, then AGM videos, मतलब जो आजकल डेट में जो वीडियो कॉल्स होते हैं AGM के, वो these are the things which are now driving their profitability and not the demat active transaction trade. And that's the reason why the top line has grown on a quarter-to-quarter basis in Q4. And the profit have also grown. And of course, these numbers are available on the website because they're market institutional investors, so they have to put it on the website. They were telling me that this is why, because the biggest question was that you are in a trading business, in a transaction business, and everyone has got hit in Q4. So what's your? So I was a little surprised by the way they said that we have diversified our business into 7 verticals.
But my question was coming from this also.
Guys, now आप एक ये ask करो, बाद में we'll do a rapid fire of the question. This is force motors पे.
No, but basically capital market, because you discussed that AMC stocks have done well when the results came out. The capital market, the other day Bernstein had a note and they've done really well. So it is only that it'll do well because of demat account increasing, or is it that these businesses have done so well?
But Puneet, ये demat account increasing
is
actually such a big theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, आज ही मुझे Gautam Trivedi was on air and he made this point that 50% of the total demat accounts or the capital market volume, one of the two things, उसने बोला वो NSE के free report में, comes from 5 states, 50%. So imagine the depth of the market still left. Penetration still left. And per person penetration within that still left. एक demat account होना एक बात है. वो demat account में आपके पास शायद सिर्फ 2,000 रुपए के शेयर होंगे. At some point of time that 2,000 will become 2 lakh to 20 lakh to 2 crores, right? For each and everybody of us or whatever it is, hopefully. So imagine the depth of trading that comes in, and therefore, which is why capital markets is such a big theme. But Ravi Dharamshi, and I urge people to listen that interview, he's given a fabulous whole 8-9 minute excerpt of the capital market theme. He believes it's a mega theme, worth listening to.
Yeah, it is a theme depending on how where are you placed in that entire chain.
And by the way, capital markets is not just the AMCs and brokers. Infra players.
No, because like the other day we had this the whole Jane Street saga happened, Novama got hammered, and then we saw like Bernstein came out with a note, they are seeing it to go 9,000, and of course there are some caveats to it, but I'm just saying it has just come back so quickly again after going through a
strong theme in India.
Very strong theme.
Okay, now we'll do rapid fire. Yes. So it's all about the fun is asking. Force Motors, Water Rally, nobody really talking about it. Love your analysis. Thank you so much. It's all about the fun. Puneet, any quick thoughts here? Force Motors.
I think we did when the earnings came in, we did a bull versus bear, and it's a very stark jump from 300 crore profits they want to 800 crore in FY25. So that momentum will continue, and the Albania has done very, very well. So I think that will continue as well.
Okay. Krishna Kapade, any opinion on Jammu and Kashmir Bank? Despite good results, it isn't increasing.
No, I don't have it. I think we should get Harsh
to talk more about it.
It's down.
Krishna, maybe tomorrow or day after, please. Once Harsh is back. Yes. We'll try and come back on this. Shrikar is asking, IEX market coupling news is out more than a year ago. No, Shrikar, that's not true, by the way.
But the draft paper came in a year back.
Much earlier.
अभी वो Jan 1st आने वाला है.
But if it's so bad, why is FIs and DIs buying? I think they bought it earlier.
I was just seeing today's announcement in stock exchanges. ICICI Pru has increased its stake to above 5% in IEX. The stock is down 20%.
When?
In last one week, when the stock fell, they increased the stake to above 5%. ICICI Pru mutual fund I'm talking about.
उसमें फंडा ये हो सकता है ना कि 30% impact expected था, 30% गिर गया.
लिया उन्होंने. But ICICI Pru is also doing a contrarian bet on IndusInd also. वहाँ पर भी वो 5% ऊपर चला गया. So
interesting. But Shrikar, no, it was not out a year ago. It happened.
The draft was out and the impact was expected, but now it's.
But ये वही है कि 8% अगर 20 पे चला जाएगा, and IEX has 70% market share, so it will benefit in the long run. That's what the CEO says at least.
It's everything is in the air. How it's going to play out, we don't know, right? He's saying that real time नहीं रह जाएगा, बाकी सब जाएगा. Next day जाएगा. But next day के बाद.
Because अभी वो MBED वाला part आया नहीं है ना अभी तो ये basic step हो रहा है कि they integrate.
Day ahead वाला आ रहा है.
Day ahead वाला आ रहा है. I think तब आएगा वो.
Okay, do you think let's brisk.
Do you think gold price is going to fall because of US dollar?
No idea.
Given the fact that you have certainty now on tariff and everything, will there be some kind of cooling off in gold?
Could that happen? That maybe could happen.
Because they've already gold is already.
But the economy is doing very well, so if inflationary pressures come back,
if it comes back, then it's already fallen to 33.30 or something, right? If Nifty 50 companies post below average result, don't you think it will have an impact on GDP, as GDP is a consumption plus investment plus government spending plus net import and export?
Sir, का reaction आपने देख लिया है. Next question.
No, not really. No. All I'm saying is that a lot of times this numbers may not be entirely correlated because the Nifty 50 numbers may be coming in from a lot of companies which do not have a one-to-one direct correlation to the GDP. So just be careful when you try and analyze.
Is it good time to add silver?
I have no idea, dude. I've always been a believer in gold.
No, because they have said that I know what Niraj sir had said about gold being a better bet than silver.
No, I'm not comparing one over the other.
नहीं ये ऐसा उसने लिखा है. ये MP Jain ने लिखा है.
No, I am not comparing what gold is better than silver or not. All I'm saying is I've seen, because I started my career as a gold and dollar trader, right? That वो 20 साल से सुन रहा हूँ कि ये हो गया पर होता नहीं है.
I think that returns. Over 20 years, gold to silver, that proportion
has outperformed gold in the recent term.
I think
because played catch up,
Yeah, the one thing which I'm looking at is because silver has a lot of properties in electronics and semiconductors. So that
ये भी मैं
Yeah,
21 साल से सुन रहा हूँ ये, कि यहाँ पे industrial
so
में
I'm
है,
looking at
फला-
it now because from an EMS angle I've started to look at that.
अभी EE में आता है, EMS में आता है, सब कुछ
नहीं वो तो अभी तो semiconductor ले रहे मैं बोला ठीक है
So,
यार, so I want to
उसमें
look
तो
at it.
copper should be the new
Yeah.
platinum.
Platinum
But
yeah,
होता
नहीं
नहीं है.
नहीं होता I
होता-
agree.
yes.
Okay, has there been an overreaction to Blue Jet share price?
Blue Jet, I think you all spoke, na?
Yeah.
Numbers were a little disappointing, right?
Numbers are they've said that they have said, by the way, that things will bounce back from Q2 onwards immediately.
Because the numbers look like 100% growth in profits and stock was down 10% as soon as the result came.
Below estimates.
Below estimates.
Margins were up.
Yeah.
Any reason Sky called results look good, but promoter selling has turned the sentiments negative.
वो तो बोल दिया ना उन्होंने कि अभी हम और नहीं बेच रहे हैं. Yeah, they've come out and said that.
Casey is saying, hi Niraj, do you think that the global equity risk premium is reflecting the new tariff, which are an average of 15 to 20% versus 3 to 5% earlier?
Possible hai, I mean, from an equity risk premium in a country like India, it is reflecting the fact that the currency is not depreciating as badly as one would thought earlier, right?
Yeah.
So all of that. But yeah, possible hai, आप जो बोल रहे हो.
What about Kotak? Is it a knee-jerk reaction today?
But why knee-jerk, yaar? I thought it's a fair reaction. They had given a very good quarter update. Pre-quarter update looked like it's come on smelling like roses, and there are problems here. And they have cited concerns which even Shriram Finance has not. So I don't know.
But they are talking about retail CV problem or something, no? Slowdown. And
so the thing they are saying is that retail goods wala, like passenger carrier is doing well, the goods carrier is not doing well, and that's reflected in numbers for Ashok Leyland, for Tata. Passenger carrier segment is doing well, but goods mein they have the margins because it's higher time. So
Gaurav Bhatia, Paytm, Zomato, new car trade has given positive results. Are the new companies now better placed than other companies in the market? Swiggy and Nykaa still to come out with their numbers. Paytm was better than expected, I think.
Yes.
Zomato was
okay.
also. I haven't seen car trade.
Car trade was very good again.
Very good.
Yeah.
So now the platform.
The thing is with car trade, it's OLX.
Is are all of them making cash profit? Or is it the other income which is?
I think car trade is almost making cash profits now. I think it is making cash profits because so what they did was they acquired OLX, and they were largely in this.
That was 2 years back.
Yeah, but so they acquired it 6 quarters ago, and then first last year was OLX ka big loss happened. Abhi ye FY26 se they are going to be starting to like last quarter also OLX had really good profit.
From operations aa raha hai.
Yeah, aa raha hai. कार ट्रेड नहीं जोमेटो का तो आप बताओ ना नहीं आ रहा है
और पेटीएम में भी नहीं आ रहा है
बट कार ट्रेड में आ रहा है बिकॉज़ इट्स लाइक सडनली यू आर गोइंग फ्रॉम एन ऑटो क्लासिफाइड प्लेयर to an across with OLX, like you can go across and purchase whatever you want, and that is a much bigger TAM. So
is NSL better company than CDSL? Well, NSL is IPOs valued lower than CDSL for sure.
But I'll urge you to go and look at Sajeet sir's analysis on this. He done a wall link on it a couple of days ago.
I also urge it.
Yes.
Should we wrap now?
Yes.
12:40.
I think Sambar Steel कुछ है आपका?
नहीं Sambar Steel numbers तो ठीक लग रहे हैं.
I think Sambar Steel Harsh did a KYC on Friday.
Yes, please go watch it.
Please go and watch it and please drop it so that they can have a look at it.
Yeah.
And as far as NBFCs and banks rebound is concerned, I think Harsh will be back tomorrow to.
Yeah, but NBFC. So what's the question? Sorry.
When will NBFC banks rebound happen? Nothing is happening even after successive rate cuts by RBI.
But the results have started to show a little bit. I think you will see in the next quarterly numbers for NBFCs in particular that the things could look good. So interesting times actually. Watch out for NBFCs.
I think it's also because abhi we had the reaction on Bajaj Finance and we had the reaction because
Friday ko thoda dampen ho gaya.
Yeah, because of MSME, because of stress in CV.
Yeah, but could be interesting.
So this week is going to be a very volatile week for 3 reasons. One, today is in US-China talks for extension. Then you have the Fed meet coming on Wednesday. Then you have the BOJ meet coming on Thursday. And then you have the August 1 deadline for tariffs.
And then you have the 31st July Thursday moves expected.
Yes, that the expiry moves. We're sitting on 31,000 crores of short positions by only FIs.
Yeah, should be interesting time.
I think for 31st, what I'm concerned is that why is Mahindra, Maruti and TVS giving results on the same day? That's my big concern.
They want you to work on Thursday.
First is going to be bad then because first is also auto sales. So you have everything together coming on those 2 days.
So he's going to be
बीमार मत पड़ना.
हो सकता है
बीमार पड़ोगे भी तो हॉस्पिटल एम्बुलेंस में लेकर आएंगे
आप
तुम.
फोनर करोगे मुझे पता है.
नहीं फोन नहीं, एम्बुलेंस में लेकर आएंगे. तुम एक हाथ में ड्रिप लगा के तुम बात करना जो भी करना है.
चलो, thank you guys.
Thank you
Thank you so much.